Hello Internet, welcome back to Watch with Joe. It is time for another episode of Andor. A little bit of housekeeping before we get going. About 95% of you are not subscribed to the channel. Guys, come on. Subscribe to the channel, please. I really need it. So please, if you enjoy these videos, click that subscribe button. It was really, really helpful for me. And yeah, I'd be very, very grateful. And now, catching up on where we were at the end of the last episode of Andor, looks like Cassian is going to attempt a prison break. He's been trying to gain allies in the prison. He's been trying to get information. And towards the end of the episode, when the kind of floor supervisor for his area of the prison realized they were never getting out, and his 230 days left were never actually going to end, kind of thing. He decided to okay, I'm going in on this prison break idea. So that's where Cass is right now. Precarious position in the prison, but he has a goal and he's moving towards it. In the Empire, they are closing in on both Cassian and on Luthen. The question is which one of them they find first. They know Luthen's next big job. They know Cassian came back to see his adoptive mother and his friends flush with money and then disappeared again. So it's a question of if they can find out where he went, and then if they can find him under his false name in prison. So that net is closing in quite quickly through the last episode. And next, I suppose, is Mon Mothma, who is getting more and more boxed in at the Senate. She is without allies in the Senate, and she is in a precarious position outside of it. The question is how long she can last at the moment. Like I've said previously, we do know that it's 2 or 3 years before Yavin that she meets the rebel cell from Rebels, and at that point she is on the run from the Empire. So the question is, how long was she at that point on the run? Because at the beginning of this show, we were 5 years before Yavin. At this point, we may be 6 months down the line. Maybe. I'm guessing on that. It's just, we know we did a 30-day leap, or 30-shift leap, which I guess is 30 days, for Cassian while he was in prison. So that's a month. And we don't know how much time passed between the end of the heist and him being arrested. It may just be a couple of months. I don't know. And we don't know how much time has passed between that initial 30 shifts and now. So the time is up in the air, but I'm going to put it anywhere between maybe 3 and 6 months time has passed since the beginning of the show. Something of that nature. So it could be that by the end of the season, Mon is on the run from the Empire, going full rebel. We will see, or it may be another year, so she can, season 2, she can hang on through, and that's when she has to run. But we will see where that story leads. Lots of different strings seem to be coalescing, which I made a point of saying in the last episode. I'm really interested to see what happens in this episode, because I imagine this is going to set up the finales I always think of an eyes as two-parters, even if they're not. So yeah, this is the last one before the last one before the last. If that makes any sense whatsoever. But yeah, I'm going to stop talking now, and we're going to watch Andor episode 10.
They're afraid. Right now, they're afraid.
Afraid? Afraid of what?
They just killed 100 men to keep them quiet. What would you call that?
I'd call that power.
Power. Power doesn't panic. 5,000 men are about to
It's
find
both.
out
It's
never
power
knows.
and fear.
I'd rather die trying to take them down than die giving them what they want.
Yeah.
He said they'd made a mistake and sent back a man who'd just been released. They fried 2 ships to keep it quiet.
No one is getting out!
Oh, here we go.
There is only one way out. Play it how you want. But I'm gonna assume I'm already dead. And take it from there. There's no sense in wanting the night.
Oh man, here we go. Oh, I have no idea how this is going to go. How well prepared are they? How many of them are actually going to get out? Are they even going to get out of the room?
So, searching for a more fluid banking situation, are we?
Discussed all this, Dabba.
I'd like to hear her say it.
This is a precarious position right here.
Exploring. What will it cost?
My fee?
We assume it's a percentage of funds transferred.
I want no fee. Money
Oh.
means very little to me.
He wants a favour.
I'd prefer not to owe any favours.
Yeah.
I'd feel far more comfortable paying you for your trouble.
I'd like to come back here, at least once.
I'm sure that's something that can be arranged.
I have a 14-year-old son. I'd like to bring him with me.
You can't be serious.
Oh.
I'm not asking for betrothal.
Then what are we talking about?
An introduction.
Oh.
Two
Jesus.
young people that encourage.
Oh no.
Is that your only offer?
I'm afraid so.
Tay will see you out.
It's a lot to think about.
I'm not thinking about it.
That's the first untrue thing you've said. It's been a pleasure.
Oh dear. Please don't actually consider this, Mom. Okay, Cass, but this seems like you're way behind schedule on this. Or you're just weakening it. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay. What's happening? Come on, Cass, do what you gotta do, man. Oh man, what's gonna happen?
Would you say to me?
I said nothing.
If you want to say something, you should say it now. You start.
Alright, you lot! Back up, back!
What's that?
Now! What's going on out there?
Okay.
Go! Attack!
Okay, guys, let's go.
Fight the floor! Fight the floor! Get on the tables! Get on the tables! Get up on the tables!
Oh, just short-circuited the whole system. Let's go, guys, let's go. Let's fucking go. Oh, it's flooding the floors below.
I've got service warnings on every panel.
Get over there and check it out.
Now!
I'm surprised none of them have grabbed boots to wear, to be honest.
One way out! Come on, fine!
Are they taking the whole prison with them or just the floor, man? This is insane.
Turn it off!
That could mean so many things.
I'll turn it off.
Don't just turn it off. Cut the power.
It's all hydro. Once we turn it off, it takes months to get it back up and running again.
Do it. Come on, let's go.
That's the backup power supply.
Okay, but how much power does the backup power supply have? Does it just do the lights or does it do the floors?
My name is Kilo Loy. I'm the day shift manager on level 5. I'm speaking to you from the command center on level 8. We are at this moment in control of the facility. All the floors are cold. We will never have a better chance than this. And I would rather die trying to take them down than giving them what they want.
Yeah.
We know there is one way out. Right now. The building is ours.
This is so cool. God, that performance from Andy Serkis, man. The guy is so good.
What? What did he say?
Oh, he's not going to stay, is he? Isn't he the ISB agent? Oh, has Luthen got a guy inside the ISB?
There's a new supervisor rising. Ded Ramiro. She's focused on a suspect she's calling Axis. She thinks he's building a rebel network. She started looking into stolen Imperial naval equipment, and now she's looking for a link to Aldani. They're searching for a thief and the middleman.
Axis.
She's gathering interest. Partagas likes her.
Well, this is good. Encourage this.
We know that there's a raid planned on the power station at Spellhouse. If Krieger attacks, they'll be waiting.
And if he doesn't, they'll know something's amiss.
They'll be slaughtered.
It's 50 men. You're worth more than that.
You have to warn them.
To what end? Ruin everything?
This reminds me of Enigma. When the Allies, when the British broke Enigma, they couldn't just warn every single target of an attack, of a German attack, because then the Germans would know that Enigma had been cracked. They had to be very careful with which attacks they prevent and which they obfuscate and which they sacrifice. And this is exactly that.
And what do you sacrifice?
Calm. Kindness, kinship. Love. I've given up all chance at inner peace. I made my mind a sunless space. I share my dreams with ghosts. I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them. I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see.
This is amazing.
So what do I sacrifice? Everything!
This is so cool.
Just stay with me.
How are they going to get off world? Oh man, that was so good! So that was episode 10 of Andor, and that was really, really good. They really know how to build to a climax of a mini arc in this show. Great prison break. A lot quicker than I imagined it was going to be. I mean, the next day, I wouldn't imagine they would be ready, but it makes perfect sense if they had an actual plan that we just didn't see them planning. The water line to short out the floors makes perfect sense. I mean, it was a struggle to get out that first room. But once they're at that first room, they just ran through the place. And they were right, there are too few guards for the amount of prisoners. And they were just completely reliant on the floors. And once the floors were gone, they were clear. I stupidly thought there'd be transports so they could fly away. But then I just thought, why would they keep transports at a prison? That's stupid, in case there was a breakout. So they had to swim off, and then we saw that Kithlo was. I'm sorry, I'm so bad at names. But Andy Serkis's character couldn't swim, so he was like hesitating as if he should jump into the water or not. So we don't know if he actually got out or if he stayed. I hope he got out, and I hope he got to land. At the end of the episode, we saw Cassian and Melchi running over the land. They've obviously got out of the water, and they're on the land on this planet. And the question is now, how do they get off the planet? How do they get off world? They've got to find a transport. If there's any civilization anywhere. And so that would be interesting to see how they manage to do that. If they, unless they're picked up by someone else, we will see. But yeah, great prison break, great performance by Andy Serkis in that speech, talking to all the prisoners and going with the lines that Cassian had given him to persuade him to go for it. Really cool, really powerful, and as I said last week, another great performance by Andy Serkis. Mon is basically at the end of the tether. She can either agree to basically betroth her daughter to the son of a criminal overlord, or be stuck and probably be caught for mismanagement of funds, of like imperial funds or something of that nature. So yeah, she's in a very difficult situation. And now, going on what I said at the beginning of the episode in the intro, I am more of the thought that she will be found out and be on the run by the end of this season. I don't know, but it's more likely now than it was before. We will see, I suppose. The other thing is, Luthen has a guy inside ISB, which makes perfect sense, but I didn't expect it. Who wanted to warn Luthen about ISB knowing about the attack on the power station and how far Dedra had got with her investigations and her links back to him. But Luthen did something which makes perfect sense if you're on a war footing, but from a moral standpoint, it hurts to agree with. And that's with, you can't let your spies be found out, and you can't let your enemy know how much you know. And sometimes that requires sacrifice. And like I said, during the reaction, it's something that like the Allies had to do in World War II when they broke Enigma. If they had just told everyone of when an attack was coming, then the Germans would know that Enigma had been cracked, and they would have changed it. He can't call off the power base attack because the power station attack, because then the Empire would know that they knew that they had been found out. It's a tough thing to swallow, but it's the right thing in war. And that's why war is so difficult, morality speaking, because even if you're on the good side, you have to do some bad things to win. Yeah. So it's a difficult but a necessary sacrifice. And even though it didn't sit particularly well with their inside at the ISB, it's true. And that speech from Luthen just explaining what he sacrifices to do what he does. He sacrifices everything. He sacrifices his... Basically, he was saying he sacrifices his self and his soul to do what he does. Because when you do that kind of work, it must be incredibly difficult to look yourself in the mirror and think, am I doing the right thing or not? You have to stay focused on the fact that I have to do this. And unfortunately, he has to use methods that he would prefer not to get the job done. And that is, he's sacrificing his morality, his sense of self, everything. That's a wonderful speech. Yeah, God, really powerful, and a great episode, a really, really good episode. So I'm very, very happy, and I'm really looking forward to next week's. And that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and comment below. All those things help me grow the channel so I can keep doing this for you, the internet. Tell me all your thoughts about episode 10 of Andor and where you see us going in the last bit of this first season. I want to hear all your thoughts. So yeah, tell me in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode.